Hi there, everyone. This is Dr. Daphne, your bounce back coach, coming to you with video 17. I'm very excited about the topic that I'm about to speak on briefly. In yesterday's video, we spoke about acknowledging, identifying, and knowing what your story is. And I feel led today to continue that conversation. And here's what we want to talk about today. Yesterday you identified the story, and you know what the story is, and you know how willing you are to tell the story. And now today we want to talk about how willing are you to share the story. Now that you know it, are you too ashamed of it to share it? Or are you willing to tell the story so that other people will be able to be healed from your story? Because I'm here to tell you that each of us, although our stories are so unique, there are other people out there who are waiting to hear our stories and to build the courage to one, to heal from their story, and two, to build the courage to share their story, whatever that story is. Some might be a story of recovery. There might be some people that's really holding on to something that happened that was quite devastating in their life, and they just need a little push and a little encouragement to tell their story. So I want you to dig deep, deep down inside of you, and ask yourself the question, how willing am I to share my story? Am I ready to share and tell my story with my shoulders held high, with no shame or no guilt hanging over my head? I'm standing brave and I'm telling my story with the understanding that somebody who will be hearing will be encouraged to step forth and to share their stories. Each and every one of us in this world, we are interdependent on each other. I was speaking with a lady on the telephone. I did not even know that the lady followed me on social media. However, she's a friend of one of my clients. And she was sharing with me how much she was enjoying these videos that I am putting out every day. And as she created her list of different things, how much she is learning about herself. And she's going through something at this time in her life, and it is helping her through this. And I said to myself when I got off the telephone, what if I did not step out and started these videos to share them with people? What if? And I want you to ask the same question. What will happen if you do not share your story? And what will happen if you tell your story? So you answer those two questions honestly. And then you move from there and move forward. Life is like a roller coaster, you know. Sometimes it's rough, and I mean, the more you ride the roller coaster, the more comfortable you get with it. You can remember the first time you rode it, how dizzy you were. You came off and you were like still going around. You were quite dizzy. But now you have gotten so accustomed to it and you are settling down on it and you're comfortable. And it's the same thing with our stories. When we are not telling our stories, then we begin to think that we are the only ones that have encountered such disasters in our lives. And when you start to tell your story and you hear somebody said, "Oh my God, that happened to you too, that happened to you too, that happened to you too," and you said, "Oh my Lord, I had no idea that there were so many people out there who went through what I went through." So I am here to encourage you to step out and begin to tell your story. Tell it to the world. And one way to tell it to the world is to do exactly like I am doing now. When you can just get up and sit before your webcam and share it. And you never know who will be clicking on it. It can be somebody in Africa. It can be somebody in Barbados, Trinidad, Jamaica, Guyana. And the list goes on and on. Finland, Australia, New Zealand. We never know who will be listening to our stories. But honestly and truly, that's not our concern, because you know what? When we are servants, we serve in a humble way. I'm not saying servant in a derogatory way or a demeaning way, but I'm saying servant in the sense that we serve people in order to make a difference in their lives. And I know for me, my clients get connected to me as soon as I share my story with them, because they realize that the path that I'm about to guide them on is because I have been there. A lot of times you hear people say, "I've been there, done that." And I'm a student. Every day I wake up, I seek to learn something else. And so long as I can learn something from somebody else's story, I'm not looking to go out there and make the same mistake again. I can learn from what they're sharing with me, and I can take it and be encouraged to develop some boldness about sharing what I am about to share. So be encouraged. You might not be able to just get up and start tell your story right away, but start jotting it down. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Depends on how old you are. Your story will have many different parts. But I tell you, when you begin to share it, you're going to see all the joy that it brings to other people's lives. And you are going to be so excited. You're going to feel some joy and experience some happiness, because you know that you has helped someone to take advantage of their story so that they too can reinvent their life and to enjoy the success that they were called for. So, again, this is video 17, and I want you to start to tell your story to anybody that will listen to you. Not to complain about what happened, but just to tell it in a victorious way that, look at me now. If you know where I am coming from, and you give them a little taste of where you're coming from. So I hope that this insight has encouraged you to tell your story in order to encourage others to tell theirs. So this is Dr. Daphne, your bounce back coach. I will see you in video 18. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Visit my website at daphne-clarke-hudson-empowers.com. On Twitter, I am at Dynamic Daphne. On LinkedIn, Daphne Clarke-Hudson. On Instagram and Pinterest, I am Daphne Clarke-Hudson as well. And on Facebook, at Dynamic Daphne. So long, I'll see you tomorrow for video number 18. Be well. Thank you for listening. Bye now.